Hello, hello everyone. Welcome back. Here we are again. My hair is slicked back again because it's dry everywhere, but like down in here, and it really does need to be dry all over the place before I do anything with it. Unfortunately, so I'm very close to the head today. How are we all doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's Pride Month is getting started in a lot less ridiculous way than mine. I'm tired, and it's the 6th. Don't get me wrong, Pride Month is good. I'm happy it's here, but like, why it gotta be so busy? Ugh. Because I am tired. Now, to be fair, some of this isn't because of Pride. This is fair. But I did kind of realize today that I have been going with either planned events or preparing for planned events for 5 days straight. I'm tired. Because on Friday last week, actually, I think it might even go beyond that because I was planning for the Friday event before that. But on Friday, there was a regional meeting conference, if you, I don't know what to call it, of the New England chapter of the Music Library Association that I attended. And that was all day event that I presented at. Presentation went well. Don't get me wrong; things went well, and it was good. But it was still a lot to prepare for, and a lot to do day of. Then on Saturday, I spent the entire day pretty much preparing for a group that I'm leading at Pride this year, at Boston's Pride in the parade. So I was working on making sure the um, banner, that's the word I want, the banner was done and ready to go, which meant that I spent a lot more time in Home Depot than any gay person should ever do in Pride Month. Well, then I guess I won't say gay person, that any gay man should ever, let's be honest. Because if we're going to fall into the stereotype, we got to talk about the fact that the lesbians know what they're doing, and that us gay audacity bullshitters, me included, am just kind of showing up being like, these are things. Which is definitely what it felt like. I was wandering around for a long period of time, hoping that I could get someone to help me. And then the few times, the one time that I actually got someone to pay attention to me and they asked, "Can I help you with something?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for this thing." And I show them from their own fucking website what it is, and it doesn't say where it is in the store. And he was just like, "Oh, that's just online. We don't have it here." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I decided to look up another version of the same thing and found that it's in the store. And there's a listed thing right there. And I'm like, okay, so you don't have that specific thing, but you have a thing that's very much like it. Um, and then me just trying to figure out how to deal with PVC pipe because that was a whole separate thing. Now, this is partially due to a mistake that I've made, and there are several mistakes that I've made along the way. In creating this banner thing because people asked me what size the banner should be, and so I just decided to Google it because I was like, I don't fucking know. I've never had to plan a group in a parade before. I've been in groups in parades, but I've never had to plan the group before. So, and I read somewhere that it was 6 feet long, 36 inches tall, 6 feet long. So 3 feet tall, 6 feet long. It's not. Most are actually between 8 and 10 feet. So if I had done that, it might have been a different story. But PVC pipe comes in lengths of 10 feet, right? And I don't know why my brain looked at the 6-foot banner and was like, oh yeah, if I get like a 10-foot pipe, that'll be fine. That'll have like 2 feet of hand holding. That'll be good. That'll be fine. And then I went to Home Depot and I was looking at the pipe and I was just like, that's not going to fit in my car. We have a problem. Um, Incidentally, I came up with a very ingenious solution. The second time that I went to Home Depot, because the first time I went, did all these things, and I said, you know what, I'll deal with the PVC pipe later. It's fine. And then I left, went to Micro Center, which, if you don't know, Micro Center is kind of like a more techy kind of version of Best Buy, I guess, because I needed a very weird battery. It's a size N battery, which is like it's like a short version of a double A. It's very weird. And they were the only store in like the entire Boston area that I could find that had it. So, and then while I was there, my roommate texted me back to tell me the dimensions of the banner. And so I went back to Home Depot to then figure out the PVC pipe. And when I went back, for some reason, this is the moment that I noticed that they have lengths of 2 feet, 2 feet lengths of PVC pipe, and I can just get joining things to stick them together. So I can get an 8-foot long pipe essentially that collapses and can be put in my car. And so I'm like, oh, this is amazing. This is brilliant. I have everything I need. I get that. I have, so the thing that I was trying to get that the guy was trying to help me with is a grommet set. So you actually use like a little punch and you hammer the punch through the material. In this case, it's a vinyl banner. So I had to hammer the punch through the material and to create a hole. And then there you just like put the bottom of the grommet and the top of the grommet in there, and then there's like a little doohickey that sits in between them to help flatten it out, and then you whack that and it flattens it out, so you install the grommets. And so I did that, which was very disruptive to my poor roommates and probably my upstairs neighbors as well, which was at like 8 o'clock at night at this point. So I was feeling a little bad for making that much noise. And then I used some string to tie it to the PVC pipe, and I was like, this is amazing. However, you know that thing where if you have a banner that's like hanging from those specific points, it just kind of collapses in on itself a little bit? Yeah. Yeah. So I have that little problem that there is an easy, dumb solution for. You just kind of have to pull the string a little bit when you're holding it, and it's not going to be a big deal for the people who are holding the banner. But yeah, it was kind of just like, oh, I don't need any more things. So that was all of my Saturday. It took pretty much all day to do all that, which was dumb. And then Sunday was the Topsfield drag story time thing. So and that went well. That went well. No protesters, so that was great. A lot of people that I knew there, which was also great. And things aside that I don't know if I'm going to air to be preserved on the internet, there were problems. There were problems in the back end, and they were handled more or less. But I read one story and then told a little bit of my own story. And it was nice and sweet and everything. And even the weather could not dampen a pretty good turnout, honestly. And a lot of good support. So that was wonderful. It was good. It was a good time. But I did not sleep well Saturday night. And I usually go to bed at like midnight most nights. I was falling asleep at 8 o'clock p.m. on Sunday. So that was kind of where that was. And then yesterday, I had a professional conference for the Academic College Research Libraries Association, New England chapter, and joint conference with the New England Library Instruction Group out in Worcester, which is not terribly far away. It was only about a 40-minute drive or so, but it did mean that I had to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get out of my house in time to get there. So I was there most of yesterday for that. And then after that, I had training for Boston Pride as a group leader. I had to go through a training thing. That was after work on Monday. And then today was the virtual part of ACRL NELIG, which was up through 2 o'clock today. Luckily, I was able to do that work from home, so I kind of rolled out of bed in my pajamas and just took notes, which was nice, because I'm still very tired. Still very tired. Yeah. Feeling a little overwhelmed these days right now with things that are going on. Boston Pride is Saturday. Once I'm on the other end of that, things will hopefully start looking up a little bit more, and I will have a little bit less on my plate, because right now it is just kind of very much oppressive feeling, and I'm emotionally tired, which is how I was tired when I woke up this morning despite having 8.5 hours of sleep. Because I was just tired in a way that no amount of sleep could stop. Still am. It's a good time. It's a good time. We're having a good time over here. It's all fine. Happy Pride, everybody. Is it over yet? I just want to get to Juneteenth weekend because I have a wonderful long weekend planned with my family, and I'm very excited to go down to the Cape for 3 days and just chill. And then I even get a day off after that, right? Because I have Juneteenth off. The rest of my family does not, so they have to go back to work, but I have to come back here and just chill, which I'm going to fucking do. It's bad when yesterday I realized that there's actually one extra weekend in June and I have nothing planned for it, and I got really excited. Because up until yesterday, I was very much operating under the impression that I had something planned every single weekend through mid-July. And then finding out that I have an extra weekend in there that I don't have anything planned for, that I'm going to leave wide fucking open. Nothing's getting planned for that weekend unless it is like a chill, low stakes, vibes only kind of thing. Hang out, fine. But like, very much planning to be curled in bed most of the day. So I'm probably just gonna need to not do anything. Oh! So anyway, let's play some Nasty Drew. Okay. This is gonna be a weird stream. Cause we're gonna be finishing this up. I think we're basically at the end. So we're gonna finish this, we're gonna do our ranking, and then we're gonna immediately jump into Blackmore Manor. And you get to all watch me get scared over something that is not really that scary. Because Blackmore Manor is one of the ones that I actually get scared by. So and I do not remember what's happening next. Lock me out in the... Found the message for Dirk. Are we going out on the horse? Or are we... I'm having a moment. Oh. Is that a brick? That's a brick. I don't remember where we are.
Hello?
It's me.
So what's going on there?
I need a hint when it comes to winding up the dancer that's inside the music box.
My guess is you need a key. Remember the letter you found under the bank lamp? Maybe that's what you get if you play the fun machine at Cappy's. It's at least worth a try.
Okay, right. And I need the right.
That's it for now.
And you need the little the amulet. Nope, that's not the right word. Necklace, not the right word either, but close enough. From the cousin, who's what's his face. So we'll go talk to what's his face.
Need something?
Talk to you later.
If you last that long.
Miss Nancy, how may I be of service?
Well, I'd better get going.
Drop by any time.
Hello, Nancy. Something I can do for you?
A ring. It's a ring. It's not a necklace.
A ring?
Sure
Some
did.
kind of
It was her most
thing.
prized possession. In fact, I got it right here. Seems to me Aunt Ellie said Frances had one just like it. I keep it on me for good luck.
I know this is a lot to ask, but do you think I could borrow it for a while?
Borrow it? What for?
To tell you the absolute truth, I'm not really sure.
Just take care of it, okay?
Last time I was in the ghost town, somebody
Oh, so we're just telling him everything, aren't we?
locked me up in the old jail.
That's terrible. Did you see who did it?
Look at Nancy being completely gender inclusive.
No, I never got a look at him, or her, or them, or whatever.
You shouldn't go there anymore.
Him, her, them.
Bad's obviously going on, and you should just stay away. And call the sheriff, of course.
I'll let you get back to work.
Take care.
Good job, Nancy. Inclusive of non-binary identities before we even knew what the fuck those were. Let's be honest, this was what, 2004? Yeah, I don't think a lot of people were talking about being non-binary at this point in a way that made it to mainstream audiences.
Can I go riding again?
Certainly not mine.
All yours.
Talk to you later.
Yahoo!
I mean, to expand upon what I talked about at Topsfield Pride, I did not come out as gay until I was 26, and it was not until I was 28, 29 that I really came out as non-binary. Yeah.
Come on, Bob.
And then the whole transition aside from that, I mean. But when I was questioning a lot of things as a wee child in the university that I went to for undergrad, I didn't have words like non-binary at that time yet. I did not have the exposure to those concepts, even despite taking a gender studies class, which kind of helped plant some seeds for sure, but like, yeah. Complicated stuff. Unfortunately complicated. Shouldn't be complicated. Yet. So, just the nicest, sweetest, and most pleasant friends and win. We're gonna go ahead and quickly hit the save button here. Before we start this fun thing.
If I keep playing, I'm bound to win eventually.
One more, so.
Interesting.
Ooh, did I mess up?
I'll just have to get another token and play again.
Damn. No, you won't. We're gonna go ahead and load that save game, darling, because I'm not doing that shit again. No thanks.
just have to get another
Damn it.
token and play again.
Okay. Unrelated to cowboys.
Another token and play again.
You are killing me here, game. You are killing me. Like 3 out of 4. Come on.
If I keep playing,
Come
I'm
on.
bound to win eventually.
Work with me.
If I keep playing, I'm bound to win.
Yeah, you are bound to win eventually, I guess, but how long will that take? Where's the ring? Where's the ring? Do I have it in my hand?
Interesting.
Or do they get kind of, sort of consumed, I guess? Finally win. Oi! Alright, what do we got? Come on.
On the paper you got when you first began, draw lines between the pictures shown here. If you draw them in order, you'll find something you need behind the picture that you make appear.
Okay. So we kind of have to remember the order here. So we've got what, like, goat. You know what? I'm gonna cheat a little bit with modern technology here. And by cheat, I mean not really cheat, but like you couldn't do this before. We're gonna go ahead and that is not the right button. Take a screenshot of my. Oop. What just happened? Oh, I accidentally just saved that in my bibliographic thingy. Whoops. What? Is that not it? Shit. That's also not it. Nope. Oh. Oh, right, because it's window. Dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Want to pop up, darling? There we go. I have a screenshot. And now I have to go to Zotero and delete the two, fucking, oop. No, I don't want to save another fucking screenshot to this fucking thing. Please stop. No. Oh, it keeps saving these. So I have an extension that's made to help me with research, and I just saved 3 screenshots of my Twitch page to that bibliographic thingamabob. Damn it. Why are these here? I must have accidentally added these as well. Okay, closing the rest. All right, here we go. There we go, there we go. That's why it feels weird. I want a little bit of lean back, but not the whole thing. Okay.
On the paper...
Yeah, shut up. Jerk, we don't need to hear you again. The paper that you got when you first got there, we have... Oop. Oh, we start here, and we go to the hand, and then we go to the dog, and then we go to the seal thing, and then the swirly, and the bird, and the sun, and the monkey thing, whatever that is. Swirly with chicken feet. X's. That and that.
V. For Valentine, no doubt.
Hold on, having a moment. Having a moment. Do I have to... if you draw them, or you'll find something you need behind the picture that you make appear. That here? Oh. I admit I don't know like any of the places that you guys are talking about for the most part, and it's making me sad. I haven't done enough exploring around Salem myself, so... I might be barking up the wrong tree here. Nancy, what the fuck?
How?
Wow, I suddenly suck. Holy shit!
Missed. Missed.
That was a circle! Alright, and we'll wait till it comes back around again. There we go.
Yes!
Yes, we did pop in Game Zone, that is fair. I feel like I remember seeing this somewhere. Aha!
At Charlie's grave, hold this up, look around, and you'll see the trail to a gift to you from me.
And I don't mean the Charlie that's buried in Dry Creek.
It's a rock. Too bad it's so scuffed up.
At Charlie's grave...
Who do we know that specializes in things like pretty-looking rocks? So I'm really stupid. These are like cuticle clippers, right? And for the longest time, I had this little doohickey like sitting here. And so I thought it was just like you have to open and close it all on your own. I did not realize that this is a spring. And you turn this around 180 degrees, and then bam, it opens all on its own. I'm a fucking idiot. And now I'm like so intrigued by it that it's become my new like fiddle thing.
Hi, can I help you with something?
I found this piece of rock in the desert. I'd really like to get the scuff marks off of it.
Looks like it's been polished before. If I put it in the polisher, it'll buff up in no time. Let me see what I can do. It's a picture agate.
Great. Thanks, Mary.
Not really much of a
It was great talking to you.
Come in again.
polisher. I know what rock polishers are like, and they're like tumblers.
We're booked on a flight to Phoenix.
All right.
The bad news is, the flight's been delayed.
Here we go again.
The plane that's supposed to fly us out of here is sitting on the tarmac in New Jersey waiting to take off. It's like 93rd in line or something. So what are you doing, Nance? Have you figured out who's behind the sabotage yet?
You know, I used to think that Newark was the best of the 3 New York airports, but yeah, Newark kind of sucks.
No, but I have a gut feeling that whoever it is after Dirk Valentine's treasure, which means if I can find a treasure, I can put a stop to the sabotage. And I think I'm in the home stretch. All I have to do is go where the picture on this agate takes me, and I'll be all set.
The picture on this what?
It's a long story.
I'm tempted to ask you to wait until George and I get there, but I know that'd be like asking an Olympic speed skater to slow down. Just be prepared to tell us all about it.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Have fun. Wish you were here. Kidding.
Wish you were here. Kidding. All right, go to Charlie's grave, right here, and then we just need to find a tree that looks exactly like it does in this rock, and looked exactly like it did 100 years ago.
The tree looks just like the one on the agate. I think I'll grab Bob and head out in that direction.
And we end up here, wherever here is. So,
Now, how am I going to get up there?
with the rope, darling.
Hmm.
Nailed it.
Yes. Ancient cliff dwellings. Awesome.
Okay, wait. This is a thing. It's from Valentine. Find a message, take the last 2 letters of the word, reverse them, and then add them to the start of the word. Use these pictures in place of the word. Okay, so... Wait. Right, okay, so the first word is brown. Brown, then lime, then middle, right, left. Okay. Yellow. Well, right is red and left is blue. Okay, middle, right, left. Orange, lime. Orange. Lime. Middle is yellow. Okay, yellow, brown, blue. Yellow, brown, blue, lime, orange. Blue, brown. Yep. Lime, orange. Red, blue, yellow. Lime, blue, lime, brown, yellow. Okay. Whew. That's a lot. Here we go. All right, so we start with brown. This is the brown one, so brown. And line. We're gonna take lime. Okay, brown, lime, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red, blue, orange, lime, yellow, brown, orange, lime, yellow, brown, blue, lime, orange, lime, orange, blue, brown, lime, blue, brown, lime, orange, red, blue, yellow, orange, red, blue, yellow, lime, blue, yellow, lime, blue, lime, brown, yellow. Brown. Yellow. And I didn't get all the little doohickeys.
I need more keys.
I'm missing 2 more. I know math. Okay. So now we're gonna just wander around, I guess, and hope for the best.
Yikes! Falling down there would not be fun.
Most of these, I think, are just dead ends, so wandering around shouldn't be too bad. Looking for those sweet, sweet keys, baby. There's one more, so we're just missing one now. Let me look at that one. All right. Nope. There we go. Alright, now where are we? Let's see if we can get back to the beginning so we can follow our little guides here. Alright, we're back at the beginning. Okay, so brown, lime, yellow, red, blue, brown, lime, yellow, red, blue, orange, lime, yellow, brown, blue, orange, lime, yellow, brown, blue, lime, orange, blue, brown, lime, lime, orange, blue, brown, lime, orange, red, blue, yellow, lime, blue, orange, red, blue, yellow, lime, blue, lime, brown, yellow, lime, brown, and yellow is this door.
This goes here.
This goes here.
This goes here.
And it goes in the square hole.
That looks right. That looks right.
Oh, I expected there to be more than that. Love you, Francis. Aw, look. Little golden heart things.
Dirk Valentine's treasure. Solid gold hearts.
Cute. Little much. But cute. I'm gonna take one. Souvenir? Nothing? There's no, like, letter he left here either? Like... Huh, alright, that's it. Very much a simp. And...
Oh.
Ah.
Why, hello, Nancy. Find the treasure yet?
So you're the one who's been sabotaging the ranch.
That's right. Here my buddies and I went to all that trouble. Wrangling that horse, busting that pipe, cutting those wires trying to scare people off the ranch so we could tear the place apart looking for the treasure. When all we really had to do was what I just got done doing. Follow you.
You went to a lot of trouble for nothing. The treasure's gone.
Well, now, I don't believe you, Miss Nancy. Oh, and by the way, it's too far to make it back to the ranch without a horse, and I just ran yours off, which means you, to use an old cooking expression, are toast.
That's what you think.
Looks to me like the only way out is the way you came in, Nancy. So, ready or not, here I come.
Challenge accepted, bitch. Let's do this.
Stop, Shorty. Think!
Let's do this, baby. Just gonna grab that. Gonna grab that. And then we're gonna grab that. And then we're gonna just
There.
do that.
Now I better hide.
Last door. After I get the treasure, I'll deal with you. Whoa! You
Whoops!
door markers on me, didn't you? That was downright mean, Nancy. I could have hurt myself.
Downright mean? You could have hurt my...
How about
Honey, you just tried to leave me stranded in the fucking desert to die.
Dear Hannah, it turns out that
I could have hurt myself.
on the Phantom horse, which was really just a trick horse that a friend of one of his bank robber buddies had trained. Since my horse was gone and it was getting dark, I wound up riding it back to the ranch so I could call the sheriff. You should have seen the look on everyone's face when I rode up on a glowing horse. It looks like the phosphorescent powder that they used to make it glow was harmless, but Tex is taking care of the horse until he's sure it's okay. Mary Yazzie has straightened everything out with the Raleighs, and now she comes over a lot, mostly to see Tex. He turns beet red whenever she's around. It's actually kind of cute. Speaking of cute, Dave confessed to the Raleighs as soon as they got home from the hospital, just like he said he would. They not only forgave him, they even offered to split the treasure with him if it turns out they can keep it. Sheriff Hernandez is looking into it. The best part is, Bess and George finally got here, and we've been having a ball. Here's a picture of
Nancy actually having fun?
Unfortunately, Dave took it. Guess he didn't realize his finger was over the lens.
That is a picture of 3 middle-aged women on horses, not...
Yes, I started reading the Charlene Purcell novel Aunt Bet has. And you know what? I can't put it down.
Sure, okay. Alright, what do we got? Scoot, for going everywhere and seeing everything. Scout, that says scout, not scout. Scoot! Okay, well, that's dumb. That's not terribly interesting.
If dreams can come true, what about curses? Well, in my next mystery adventure, you can find out for yourself. If you dare. I've been invited to a creepy old castle in England to find out who or what is terrorizing its residents. Could it be that the spirit of a centuries-old witch has returned to seek revenge? And why, after 300 years, has the beast of Blackmoor returned to prowl the moors again? The answers to these and many other dark secrets will be uncovered in my next case, The Curse of Blackmoor Manor.
Oh, schmutz on my screen there. There we go. And there we go. Woo! Dark secret. I know, right? It's very melodramatic. Alright, give me a second. We will wrap this part up. Get the next one up on deck. Go away. Blackmoor Manor. There we go. That's done. And then we are going to open up a new window with... It doesn't let me do that. And that's gonna probably disappear on my other screen though. Yeah, there it goes. I don't know why. For some reason, Chrome is just broken on this computer. I do not understand why. Wonder if I should try uninstalling it. That might not be a bad idea. Words are hard. Gear Maker, there we go. And we start with the soundtracks. So get that. Oops, shite. Remix this list. There we go. Hold on. Okay, just making sure I have the right one here. It's throwing me off. All right, let's do a quick transition moment here. Hide the two Nancy Drew things. Open that up. Lovely. And then here we go. Okay, so here is our current ranking. This is just soundtracks, right? We're not talking about the gameplay quite yet. That's next. So, in my not so humble opinion, Secret of Shadow Ranch has a fucking great soundtrack. It's incredibly evocative for what it is, like more so than I think even some of the other ones. It's easily on par with the top. It's right up there. It's a great soundtrack. There's a reason why this game is well, we'll get to that in a minute. It's a great soundtrack. It's very evocative. It covers a whole lot of ground too, which is kind of nice. It's not all just like hoedown, because there's kind of like the dark and spooky stuff, but it all still has Western style elements in it. Cowboy kind of sounds that you expect to hear. I like that it includes at least some attempt at some diversity by, you know, touching on Native American music, though it is very much a white man writing Native American sounding music. So, yeah, for its time or something like that, I guess. Still, you know, it is not just all cowboys the whole time. It is like, oh yeah, no, there's more than just that out here. Like, the West was not just cowboys the whole time. There were people that lived here before and still live here, so they're kind of important too. Even the soundtrack acknowledges that, which I have to admit is nice. Where do I rank it in the S tier? Because it's going in S tier. We know this. It's not as good as Scarlet Hand to me. It's not as good as Deception Island. I like those two better. Versus Royal Tower, though. Shadow Ranch versus Royal Tower. I think I like Shadow Ranch better, honestly. Royal Tower, the music is more my style, but it is a little bit more monotonous. Shadow Ranch is just interestingly different enough. And then there's that one track with like the very modern guitar moment thing that I think Ragnarok, you mentioned the last stream. You mentioned thinking it was really cool. Like, again, it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. So it's going, yeah, it's going in S tier. Soundtrack ranking, bam. We got to go back to my account. We got to go to this one to delete it because it is no longer there. Important. And then we go to the game ranking. We hit the remix button and we have to change the color because it will automatically change to whatever the last thing was. Here we are. Okay, so the game itself, right? This is tough, actually. It's a very good game. I am torn between it being an A tier or being an S tier. It is either a superior game or it is great. It is somewhere in there. And the thing that is holding it back from being a clear S tier for me, the one thing that bothers me about this is that I just don't know some of the puzzles were just really esoteric. Like, there were some times where I had to look up hints to get through the puzzles, not because they weren't solvable, but because it was a little roundabout to get there, right? Like, it required leaps of logic that were not clear. That was my problem. Because the characters are pretty okay, I guess. That's one thing I guess I will also say. The characters you actually interact with, Mariazi, Tex, Dave, what's his face, and Shorty, not terribly interesting. The villain of the story, not terribly interesting. But where the game fails in the characters you actually interact with, it makes up for in the characters you speak to on the phone and the characters that you were introduced to through letters and the voiceover of like Dirk Valentine and Francis Humber and all this stuff, right? So I think those characters are a lot more clear and a lot more interesting than the characters you actually speak to. The puzzles are really good when they work well, though. They're really good. And varied, which is nice. Like, it's not just a reskin of, you know, a shuffle puzzle or something like that. It's good. There's a fair balance of stuff in there too, which is nice. The story is okay. The whole like Phantom Horse thing is kind of yawn, but the whole like finding secret lost treasure thing is way more interesting. I'm going to go ahead and put it on S tier. Yeah, it's up there. It's a really fucking good game. I'll be honest. It's a fucking good game. That makes me very happy to say that I am pleasantly surprised to remember that it is a really good game. And I don't know why I don't play this one more often. Because I definitely go back and play Scarlet Hand, and Deception Island, and even Royal Tower pretty regularly. Like, not regularly, but like when I really want to play one, those are some of the ones that pop into my head as like, oh, I should play that again. Shadow Ranch isn't one of those, and I'm not really sure why then, because I like Dirk Valentine better than Dave. They never even show him. Same, honestly. Dave is boring as fuck compared to, and that's the biggest criticism I have of it, is that the characters that you meet in the game itself, the ones you actually talk to, they're just not terribly interesting. They're kind of shallow, relying on a lot of stereotypes, and some of the stereotypes themselves are quite weak. So, yeah. But I'm gonna leave it there. I'm happy to leave it there. I think I'm happy with that. I don't know that this is necessarily going to show up on my rotation still of like games that I go back to play when I want to play an answer to game necessarily. Like, not saying that it won't, but it is kind of, I don't know. It took us like, what, 2.5 streams to get through. That's not unsubstantial. That's a pretty long game. Let's be honest.